Hello world and welcome to Beam Stream. So today I actually wanted to talk about one of the various topics, within the development world as a developer and what it's actually like to go through certain points in a person's career. So for myself specifically, the topic that I will be talking about is this concept of burnout. Now, burnout doesn't just exist within the developer, software developer industry. It's kind of endemic, I guess, to other industries as well. However, one thing that I feel that makes things quite unique to developers is that in order for us to do things, you know, development wise, all we really need is a laptop with a text editor. That's about the only technologies we need in order to kind of go through and try something new, learn a new technology, even grind through some project that you've been thinking of doing for a long time. And that brings it on to the kind of spectrum that we have as developers, right? There's lots of different types of developers. There's a lot of difference in the technical knowledge some people have, as well as the spectrum of their level of obsession with programming as well. Now, so when it comes to the obsession levels, I feel like compared to my peers, I'm probably on the more obsessive side of development. What does that mean? Well, that means that I'm able to program day during my day job as well as after work, right? So this is after work hours, being able to program and liking it. It's an experience that I've grown to like, and it's how I spend my evenings, definitely on a level of a hobby. But I do understand that actually it's on a level that can be quite unhealthy in some aspects. And this brings it on to the topic that I really want to talk about. As developers, for those that can't stop, essentially it's become a bit of an addiction, a bit of an obsession. I would say, you've reached a certain point of burnout when you so definitely want to do something, and that something is always writing code. And at this point, you've kind of, you, at least for myself, I've come to a point where I've realized that, I've reached this point of burnout and there's nothing much I can do than literally try to force myself not to program or write any line of code at this point. I know that it's unhealthy, and it's really important for me to identify that and try to not touch that keyboard to write code. Now, I'm curious to hear what others, other developers other than myself and how they cope if they feel relatable to what I'm going through right now. Because it's an important thing, as a developer community to kind of understand that they've reached a certain point and it's unhealthy and they need to kind of do something else to break that, that monotony, I guess. So, as a message to myself and to others, I think it's really important to kind of take a step back. As much as you want to build that next generation project with that next generation XYZ technology, sometimes, you reach a certain point where, a change of scenery can be considered healthier. And at this point, you can actually be more productive because your health is what matters more. I mean, essentially, see it like this, right? From this perspective. If your mental health is, you know, in top shape, let's say, right? The next generation project with next generation technology that you want to do is going to be more sustainable because your mental health is kept in check, right? And that's really important to identify. It's really important to action for yourself as well. The next point I kind of want to talk about is how it is being a developer within a community. Because at this point, you want to be able to keep up appearances. You want to be able to post as much as you can to kind of share any sort of developer trifles you've had in your technical journey and so on. And, keeping up appearances with socials can also be exhausting. So, once again, I'm taking this time to send a message to developers with both the feeling of wanting to do more programming outside of work, as well as those in a developer community who wish to continue communications, because that is also something that contributes towards burnout. It's the act of being able to keep up appearances. And so this is a message for them as well, that you should probably try to step back every once in a while to keep yourself in check. Um, so with that, I'll end with, stay healthy, stay sustainable for all of your developer career. You have time, and that keyboard is not running away. And at the same time, you need to keep yourself in check. And that's me.